joy that it brings. Pray to God that today never ends. Holding the vibe with me friends, and we out here. Sweet soca playing. We take me hand and we fatting away. Don't give a damn what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy. Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Cause we out here vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Cause we out here vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Yeah, cause when I out on the road, nothing can stop me, I don't want go home. The drinks got me in full beast mode. I beg the bartender for more, so please bad boy, keep your gun on your waist. The only shots in the drinks to my face, and I don't care what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy. Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Cause we out here vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Cause we out here vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. It's a real talk night. How you doing? I want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio on the night shift with DJ Kevin Steele. Much love to you. Welcome.
Pray to God that today never ends. Holding the vibe with me friends, and we out here.
Big ups to the massive out of New Jersey. Locked in on NIE Radio. Hanging with New Jersey's finest, the motivator.
Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe.
Big ups, D Nice. Much love, bro.
Whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe.
Remember, you can lock into the motivator on Thursdays for Double Trouble Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. And at noon on Saturdays for Motivation Saturdays. Much love to the Long Island Massive. Locked in on Reggae Pulse Radio. DJ Atomic Force, much love to you, bro.
Keep your gun on your waist. The only shots in the drinks to my face, and I don't care what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy.
All the vibes coming out of Long Island, New York.
Just don't kill my vibe.
Keeping the people nice and warm.
Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just
I want to say big ups to those who are locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Big ups to you, Mr. Lindsay. Veteran in the business. Catch up with Mr. Lindsay every day at noon. Son of Thalia in the background, track called Don't Kill My Vibes. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors, Pulse Media Group and Being in a Moment is Priceless. Go ahead and give them a call.
It's another 24.
They'll take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads, everything you see here on kevinstew.com and more, including hosting your website as they do mine.
Sweet soca playing, we hand now we fatting away. Don't give a damn what nobody say.
But just like how they're streaming my event,
Keep on doing
the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, they can stream yours.
my vibe.
That church service, that wedding, that funeral, that graduation, that party, that seminar that you're having. They can take care of that. Give them a call, 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140. Give them a call today. Tell them Kevin Stew sent you. I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach County. She's also a U.S. Army vet. And she comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. Go ahead and give her a call today. 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. She only has one request outside of paying her. It is to get her off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Thank you, Althea, for your service. Thank you for your massages. And when you schedule yours, she only has one request outside of paying her. It is to get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. Not trying to kill your vibe, but just letting you know, I always fall asleep on her table. So you know when you're passing out, just make sure it's somewhere close to a bed or a chair you can just roll over into it, yeah? Real talk. I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment. The family over there at Reggae Pulse in Long Island call him a name. Reggae Global act as your booking agents, handle your tour management, take care of your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and much, much more. Give them a call, 954-804-8199. Or check them out online, reggaeglobal.com. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. Thank you to McNeil Trucking. McNeil Trucking is a licensed and insured mover in the state of Florida. They are veteran owned. And they'll move you out of the Keys up to Jacksonville. From Naples to Palm Beach. From Pompano Beach to Pensacola. And all points in between. If you want to move some things into storage, they got you. But if you don't have the manpower, you don't have the transportation, don't worry, you have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking, 954-406-9740. Get them a call today and set up your appointment. Thank you, McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands.
What you wanna do, just don't kill my vibe. My vibe, don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my, could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. My vibe, don't kill my.
The only expectation Thalia has of you is that you don't kill our vibes. That's the only criteria when you're in a relationship with her. Do whatever you want to do. Just don't kill her vibes. As long as your vibes stay up, then you're good. Numbers to call, numbers to text in tonight for tonight's broadcast. Because the phone lines are already open. 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. You You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. Get you in touch right here in the studio, live and in living color. Those of you watching can see the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. Of course, you can also jump into the stew pot on kevinstew.com. Those of you wondering what the stew pot is what everybody else calls a chat room. But because we're fancy on kevinstew.com, it's the stew pot. Come on in, be a part of it, add some flavoring to the stew. Share your views, you only ask to be respectful. You don't need to register, you don't need to offer you don't need to register, you don't need to offer your firstborn an internal organ, a blood sacrifice, none of that to be in the stew pot. Just go to kevinstew.com. It's free. So, but don't think that because it's free that your input is not valuable. Your input is invaluable. That's why you are always welcome to be a part of the broadcast, whether by phone, text, or the stew pot. And of course, big ups to those on Facebook Live, those on Zeno FM, those on Clubhouse, and right here at the home of the Night Shift to DJ Kevin Stew, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment, kevinstew.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Inviting you to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. Call up everybody because information is good for all, yeah?
Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever.
Yeah, Marlon. Telegram too.
Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my.
Giving people all kind of ways to get in touch. I want to say big ups to the Reggae Global General Manager, the one and only Marlon Burrell, host of Real Rockers. And you can tune in to Real Rockers every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Reggae Global Radio and affiliates. Marlon is a walking, talking reggae music encyclopedia, let me tell you. But you don't have to take my word for it.
Keep on doing.
Just check him out.
Wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever. I don't really care.
So let me ask you this question. How many of you actually have expectations of your partner, your friends, anybody that you consider yourself to be in a relationship with? How many of you place expectations on that relationship? And what is the kind of expectations that you have? Does the other person in this relationship, or the persons in the relationships, do they know what expectations you have of them, or what expectations you have of the relationship? Do you share your expectation with them? And this is something that we probably take for granted. That if you do have an expectation, people know it. And, or if you don't, people know it. So I ask not because, it's just something that you can ask, but it's also something that people don't really think about. And more often than not, it's not until someone presents a situation to you or presents a question to you relating to this that you go, wait a minute. Maybe I do have an expectation. Maybe you didn't even realize that you have expectations. And so tonight we're talking about relationship expectations, and mostly along the lines of your couples. According to psychcentral.com, you pretty much ask yourself a question. Have you ever been disappointed because something did not turn out the way you expected? Why did you have such a strong belief something would happen? Now, there are some people going back in their memory banks going, wait, there was this thing. And oh, yeah, and there was that thing. Oh, yes, and the other thing. William Shakespeare once said, expectation is the root of all heartache. Nobody thought William Shakespeare was that deep, did they? Well, you're writing all these tragic, nonsensical plays and love stories, then, and I say tragic and nonsensical because you have works like Much Ado About Nothing, which really was a whole to do about nothing really. And your tragedies like Romeo and Juliet, which is your love story that everybody wants to have but nobody wants to live. Well, because, they die in the end. So who wants to have that kind of a love story? But through it all, we all have high expectations at one point or another, according to Psych Central, only to be disappointed when things do not turn out the way we wanted. It can get the best of us at any given moment when those expectations are not met. And we need to keep in mind the way it affects us. Now, of course, it affects everybody differently. As it relates to this particular section of tonight's broadcast, this particular article discusses how expectations in your relationship can be damaging. It's not fair to put unachievable standards on your partner or vice versa. In the end, both parties are affected. Resentment, anger, and disappointment can develop toward each other. These expectations are fantasies and false hopes that ruin your idea of your partner. And some people never realize the unwarranted damage they cause because of these inflated ideas. Carrying high expectations in your relationship can take shape in a few ways. The writer here says, during my time in dealing with couples, a very problematic expectation has been the traditions a spouse carries from their family of origin into their marriage. Example. A man expects his wife to take care of the house and chores the same way his mother did. A small hint. One should never be compared to their parents or their partner's parents. This is a standard they will never live up to. It is absolutely unfair and unrealistic. It is okay for your partner to have some traits and characteristics of your parent. As the saying goes, we often end up marrying our mom or dad. Some search for these traits because it provides a sense of security. A security in a relationship is generally what people seek. It is that familiarity, that long-standing familiarity. But if you expect your partner to be as polished as your parent, you are holding them up to an unachievable expectation. Now, not to say that all parents have a shiny finish to their polish. There are some with a dull, metallic, rustic finish. So, whatever that polished finish is, don't measure your partner that way. Expectations in a relationship should be discussed by the involved parties at the very least. I agree, Marlon. I do agree. My question, as it relates to that, is when. when are these expectations discussed? Are they discussed when you realize that you're entering into an aspect of your relationship that goes beyond just having a relationship? Because now you're getting into the depths of the relationship, the various degrees of it. And so, whereas your relationship, in this case, as partners, as a couple, you have established it at some point in time. Is it that moment when you go out on that date that you first look into each other's eyes and you have that deep kiss at the end of the night, and you spend the night at your partner's place and you put a toothbrush in the toothbrush holder? Because people determine that is how they mark their territory. Some people say that this is how they determine that this is a real relationship that they're in, when they have a shower puff and a toothbrush in the bathroom and underwear, or they get a drawer. You know what I mean? So for different people, it's different points in time, or various different things that say we are in a serious, committed relationship. Is it at that point do you say, all right? So you're saying it's when it's getting serious. Now, I don't know in today's day at what point that is. I'm honestly saying that because the idea of having a relationship has changed. The concept of it has changed significantly over time. And you know, in the US, we hear of people dating, and that is the thing that determines that they're in a relationship. However, dating is the act of getting to know someone, so it is an ongoing thing. So when does it get serious? You know what I mean? Is it just a play on words, just a understood point in time in your relationship? My thing is, with all of that being said, I think if you have expectations of where you want the relationship to go, expectations of your partner, that it's an ongoing discussion. Because here's the thing. The expectation I may have of you today may not be the same expectation tomorrow. Because I may learn something between today and tomorrow that changes how I view what we are in. It doesn't change what we're in, but it changes where I see us going. It changes what I want from you and as my partner. So I really believe that as it relates to expectations, you can't give an expectation when you see the relationship starting to get serious, just when you're talking about spending the night or spending the weekend. Now, your expectations can't be discussed just at that time, because there's one expectation before you spend that first night together or that first weekend together. After that, here comes another expectation, because you are now expecting the relationship to go in a particular direction, or you're expecting certain things to happen from this point forward. Do you continue having the discussion, or do you just leave it there and say, oh boy, you know what? I already had a discussion about an expectation. I can't go back now and say something else. Well, actually you can, and you should, because this should be an ongoing discussion. Another way expectations can destroy your relationship is when you expect your partner to do things that you never communicated to them. How can they possibly do this? They are your partner, not a mind reader. Your partner. An example here is expecting a certain birthday or a certain anniversary gift. Well, if you never said that you wanted a particular thing, how are they going to know? Blessings, Hubert. Welcome to the broadcast, bro. Much love to you. Thank you for the continued support. Hubert Fallen is one of the few individuals that have constantly supported the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew by way of sharing on Facebook. And I truly appreciate of that, bro. Thank you. I am enjoying the discussion, Hubert. In fact, I'd love for you to chime in on this one, if you will, whether in the stew pot on kevinstew.com or right here on Facebook Live. But I'm the stream on Facebook ends in just a few minutes, because on Clubhouse and Facebook it's not all night. So I'd love for you to share, and I'd love for you to continue to share if you're really enjoying this topic. Hey Pat, how you doing? My relationship with food. My relationship is with food. I get you, Pat. You know what? My relationship with you is with food too. So chicken soup with dumplings was the deal for tonight, with some yam and banana. Cool. I get that. I would expect that you ate your share and mine. And with my share, I expected that you ate it with much love. Yeah? Cool. So, as it relates to a relationship with another person, though, Pat, where do you stand with expectations? This whole mind reading thing, the expecting a certain type of gift for a special occasion, or a certain gift, just because maybe you mentioned that you like a certain thing. This past Sunday, as I produced Bar Talk, which airs on Sunday evenings on Jamaicans.com, right here on Facebook Live, the host, good friend of mine and photographer extraordinaire, Luke Ballantyne, he talked a little bit about an expectation. In so much, his wife at the time mentioned that the vacuum cleaner didn't work well. It wasn't working the way it's used to. It needs to be replaced. And as a gift, he got her a new vacuum. Well, this was a Christmas gift. And the problem there was that wasn't what she expected as a gift, and was very disappointed by it because it wasn't for her. But she didn't let him know that was expected. And I guess women on a whole would not think that because I mentioned something like a vacuum cleaner, that means I want a vacuum cleaner. That's not, no. That's for the house. We live here, you're going to get that. No. I just need for you to replace that. But you're going to get me a gift, you're going to get me something for me. Not something for everybody to use. Or for everybody to benefit from the use of. But if she loves to cook and you get her an apron with some brand new pots and stuff, then it's kind of different, ain't it? If she loves to bake and you get her a set of baking tins, then she might love that. Crazy. At what point do you draw that line, though? You make that distinction. Just because, according to Psych Central, just because it's not the extravagant gift or idea you had in mind, doesn't mean they didn't put any thought into it. or expecting dinner to be ready when you get home, or duties with the kids to be done after a long day at work. When you begin thinking of things that your partner should do for you and it's not done, you are left with disappointment. Try communicating what you would like. It may help you, and it may help you with your partner. One set of expectations that can also be very damaging is the expectation of changing your partner. And time again, we hear this one. People get into relationships with other people and say, but yeah, this is how they were. But I think that with a little bit of help, they will change over time. So already you're going in there with the expectation that you are going to do something to change how they see a particular thing, how they do a particular thing. You're expecting that they're going to change with your influence. And if it doesn't happen, what then? Now, it's not, nobody's, well, maybe some people might know, but the author here goes on to say, not sure what motivates a person to think that they can change someone. But it happens all the time. Unless they're causing harm to you or themselves, why would you want to change them? I would further ask, why did you get involved with them if this thing was an issue? Is it that everything else overshadows this? And if that is the case, come back to the first part. Why is this an issue? If they are causing harm, then you need to seek the right kind of help. Some people might think it's harmless to try to change their partner's wardrobe or activities they participate in, but it can cause damage. They begin to lose themselves. Just as important as it is to share interests, it is equally important to have autonomy in your relationship. It is two individuals coming together to create this relationship. People have this idea that when the two now get together in a relationship, the two have become one, and as a result of becoming this one, there should be this one thought, and the one thought is the dominant mind's thought. Anybody ever have that experience? And if you do, if you're currently in that experience, you're living that, I suggest couples therapy right then and there, and individual therapy, because it is going to come to a screeching, ugly halt. Sad to say. And I'm not calling down a demise on your relationship or anything like that, but it's going to come to a head. Unless the person that you're involved with is one that can't do anything without direction and being led. And if that is the case, then your relationship is perfect. If you're one to lead and they're one to be led and want to be dictated and everything that they should do, and pampered that way and spoon-fed that way and parented that way, then you're in your perfect relationship. More power to you. But if not, yeah, that's going to be a problem. So, as we're about to take a quick little break here, I do invite you to call up some friends. Tell some friends that we're on right here on the night shift of DJ Kevin Stew. Tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. You might not want to talk with them, but you can get them a message anyway. Just go ahead and do so. Why? Because the information is good for everybody, and they don't even have to know that it's coming from you. If you can get it to them in a roundabout way, so be it. Get it to them. As we go off on a break, I want to remind you guys that coming up on the 17th of December is Feeding the Homeless. And this is happening downtown Broad at 10 East Broad in Fort Lauderdale. And it happens between the hours of 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. You're only asked to wear a mask, so whatever it is that you're going to wear other than the mask, that is up to you. Just wear something else. Okay? If you're unable to make it out there, then and you can contribute to it happening, you can do so monetarily by using Venmo, sending it to your donation to Marlon Dixon. That's Marlon-Dixon, all as one word. Or on Cash App, $ Heavy Dino 1976. That's Heavy DINHO 1976 1976. By Zelle and PayPal, you can go to mgadixon23 at hotmail.com. That's mgadixon23 at hotmail.com. All right, so those are some quick ways if you want to use a bank account, or you can contact me. I can give you the bank account number that you can just transfer the money or deposit your donation straight to that bank account. And believe me, it will go towards this event and others like it. Marlon started feeding the homeless years ago, just spending some money buying up some food and cooking it in his garage, in his kitchen, packaging it in his garage, and then getting his friends together and loading it up in vehicles, taking it out to the homeless. And this is one of the things that he wants to do, to give back to the community. And he's been doing it for a while with some care packages, toothbrushes, deodorant, sanitary napkins for the ladies, socks, things like that. So go ahead and be a part of this giving back to the community. And also, you're reminded to get the book, Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense, authored by Jonathan Field, narrated by yours truly, Kevin Stew. Yes, I'm talking about the audiobook. So go to kevinstew.com. There's a copy of the book cover right there on the page. Just click on it. It takes you to where you need to go to get your copy of the audiobook, Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense, written by Jonathan Field, narrated by yours truly, Kevin Stew.
Policy Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Policy Media Group.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school,
In math,
I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym,
In biology,
I learned that I'm
I
pathetic
learned that I'm fat
and a
and
joke.
stupid.
In history,
Today in
I learned that
school,
I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick.
And in
And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell.
and a
In chemistry, I learned that no one
In
likes me.
biology,
I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in math,
I make people
I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today.
The only thing I didn't learn today.
The only thing I didn't learn is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Ladies, lovers of the music, it is here, the brand spanking new album from Ed Robinson and Ian Sweetness, a tribute to Teddy Pendergrass. Amazing. 10 blazing tracks, 2 amazing singers going hit for hit, classic for classic. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Oh man. It's out now. Available everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, it is there. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, brand spanking new, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Ladies, gentlemen, you've got to have this in your collection. Get it now. Available everywhere. Bruv, my last baby already gone off to college, mate. Is what this is saying, come gimme, man. Is a big album still, I love it. Big up Ed Robinson, Ian Sweetness, but this better come with a contraceptive.
It's Christina representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Chew and the night shift radio show. Yo, the thing, turn up the thing loud. Whoa, DJ Kevin's Chew at the heart of a champion. Never underestimate, just choose him. The silver line behind the dark clouds. DJ Kevin's Chew believing, and that's no doubt. Salute the night shift radio show, Christina. It's a hot it up, loud.
I don't have no regrets. I think feeling I won't forget. It's just you and nobody else, no.
This morning, the first thing that I saw, my eyes popped open. Overwhelming beauty's captivating. Oh, I'm aching just to be right next to you.
Welcome back to the broadcast. The son of Maurice Gregory in the background. Former keyboard player for Third World. track called What a Feeling. Pat says people can work together and compromise in marriage and let things work itself or seek counseling. They should seek counseling regardless. They can work out together and by compromising, but what are they compromising to? Because this is a matter of give and take when you're talking about getting into striking a compromise. You know, one person is going east, one person is going west, and they decide that instead they're going to switch directions and meet in the middle. But it's not really switching directions until you pass that central point. You realize, oh, you're still going in the direction that you wanted to go anyway. Well, if you're working with the globe, which goes around in a circle, right? But hey, people have different personalities as well as they should. And when it is because of those personalities that they actually come together. But things we often forget about when we get into relationships, right? There, as we continue with the information as per Psych Central, looking at expectations and the relationship, there are things that sometimes people expect things to work themselves out. The author says, a friend once asked me, what advice would you give me before I get married? And I responded, don't expect your marriage to fix itself. You still have to work for it every single day. That's some great advice. Both partners have to work harder to keep it. There have been couples who think that just because they are married, problems will fix themselves. And they really think that that is how it works. In sense, they're taking the relationship and their partner for granted, in one sense. You need to be attentive to each other's feelings, your needs, wants. If you feel you need to help with fixing your problems, fine. You need some help fixing your problems, then find a marriage or family therapist that can help. Too many times, couples seek help when it's far gone. It's way too late. And one partner already has a foot out the door. Well, they probably have both feet out the door. And just trying to solidify where they're putting their feet so that they can step out. They can go. And you don't want to get to that point, because at that point, your problem is beyond repair. Just call it a day. There's also setting high expectations on yourself. And among the list of expectations that could be damaging to a relationship, this is considered the worst. Many times men think they have to live up to a certain standard, such as being the breadwinner, the rock of the family, and the Mr. Do It All. Women have self-expectations of running the home with the children, keeping the house clean, cooking dinner every night. And many of these expectations come from society and our very culture. However, it is okay to ask for help. All of these duties can put a whole lot of pressure on everyone, which can lead to stress, anxiety, and depression. All things that are not great for relationships of any kind. Taking care of the home is a team job. It's important both partners help each other in these duties. But hiring a maid, nanny, or even getting help from other family members, this is also okay. Whichever way you do it, just do it. To sum up this little section here in a neat little bow, setting unrealistic expectations on your relationship can only lead to frustration and disappointment. And we have to remember, no one is perfect. And everyone has faults. It is great to set goals in your relationship. But when you set these goals, make them realistic goals. Make them attainable goals. Don't set the goal and keep it to yourself. You know, share that goal with your partner. And you need to figure out, is this a realistic expectation? Are these goals realistic or are they unrealistic? Is this a pipe dream? Is this fairy tale talk? That's another thing that you need to be aware of. So anchorlighttherapy.com has an article where they talk about expectations in a relationship, the realistic or reasonable versus the unrealistic. And therapist Brenda Gill had authored this article. And she asked the question, how do we know if we're asking too much from our partners? What if we're asking too little? Expectations, she says, can shape the dynamics, set the tone for the relationship, and cultivate an atmosphere of support and safety. However, it's important to distinguish between reasonable and unreasonable expectations to avoid emotional distress from unmet needs or impossible standards. And maybe that's what Shakespeare was talking about when he says expectation is basically at the root of all heartache. Because people are setting unrealistic expectations. It's important to communicate your expectations to the people involved in the relationships that you're in. And I pluralize it because oftentimes we start talking about expectations in a relationship and we limit it to a couple. But you have other types of relationships too. And not saying that the only one that you need to pay attention to is the couple relationship. No. Because that relationship that you have with your best friend, there are expectations there too. The thing is, if your best friend has been your best friend for the past 25 years, this person accepts you faults and all. So you kind of don't lose out on making unrealistic expectations, because either they're going to call you out on it or it's just going to not happen and y'all are going to work it out anyway. That's basically how that is going to go. And really and truly, in my estimation, that's how all relationships go anyway. Because if you're going to be loving unconditionally, this is what it looks like. So if you have a partner and your relationship doesn't flow the way that it flows with your best friend of 20 years, then you need to be asking some questions of yourself and then of the relationship, because it needs to start with self. And I don't think there'll ever come a point in time when I will change from taking that perspective that things need to start with self. So what kind of reasonable expectations are we talking about here? Relationship expectations. Well, there must be mutual trust in each other. That's one expectation you can have. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Equal commitment to the relationship. Shared affection and appreciation. Empathy towards experiences and emotions. Friendship and admiration in the relationship. a satisfying sexual connection, mutual understanding and compromise, respect for differences, quality time, and shared kindness and generosity. Let's go a little bit deeper, dive a little bit deeper into this for a moment. As it relates to trust, be curious about each other's inner world and practice empathy toward their experiences, feelings, and needs to build trust over time. Trust promotes a secure attachment in which partners can feel safe to engage in their own interests and activities, knowing their partner will be there to support them and provide reassurance upon their return. This trust thing goes real deep. And not everyone knows how to navigate the space that is known as that trusting space. And some people need help in getting over a situation that has caused them to lose trust. With commitment, you need to understand each other's commitment to the relationship and discuss the behaviors that demonstrate the level of commitment to prevent burnout or feelings of resentment when one partner perceives that they are giving more than they are getting in return. Equal commitment is also essential in building a relationship where both partners feel validated and part of a team. Understand that as individuals, you may view commitment differently. Get an understanding of what the other person views as being committed and move from there. From that point, now you can say, all right, I'm not just all up in my head, I just do this differently. With affection and appreciation, discuss expressions of love and affection, especially when you and your partner prefer different love languages. For example, one may prefer words of affirmation while the other may prefer acts of service. Practice communicating affection towards your partner in their love language rather than in your own, to validate as this may be more impactful when appreciating your partner for who they are and how they contribute to the relationship. And that's something that we've talked about before, love languages. And the big question has always been, all right, so whose love language do you speak when in a relationship? Do you speak yours or do you speak your partner's? And if you're speaking your partner's love language, then what happens to yours? Well, you're both speaking each other's love language, so you should both be satisfied. You see how that works? Or in the case of those who do relationships differently, all the parties involved. So now it takes a lot of language learning. So in this case, you're multilingual. But you should be that way anyway, because no one lives in a vacuum and nobody is only relating to just one person. And so if you have authentic relationships around you, your best friend, your relatives, your family members, your friends, your partner or partners, then you should be multilingual anyway. As it relates to empathy, express empathy by building curiosity toward each other's experiences and validating the accompanying emotions. And this can be done through asking open-ended questions about your partner's experience and setting logic aside to consider why the emotions make sense for your partner given their background. The goal here is to understand their perspective rather than needing to agree with their response or provide a solution. This is where having acceptance through enlightenment really takes seat. It it lives in a place of empathy. You don't have to agree. You just have to share the experience. You have to understand what the other person is going through, what the other person is feeling, what the other person is, how they see things. And this works for all parties. And that way, everybody can share off the experience. That's where the empathy comes in. For friendship, you need to cultivate friendship in a relationship through demonstrating intent and interest in each other, which may include active listening throughout the day and making time to engage in the activities that each person enjoys to combat feelings of loneliness or insignificance. Friendship builds safety and connection, which may allow you to confide in and increase the amount of enjoyment shared between each other. One of the things that I've said all the time, everybody wants their partner to be their best friend, but nobody wants their best friend to be their partner. Those who have made the transition from best friend to partner or vice versa, and it is authentic, check out how great their relationship is. Check out how happy they are, and check out how, not to say they don't have disagreements, check out how they navigate them to come to a common goal, to find that place where they can move from that disagreement, whether it is to agree to disagree or to both take the same side. See how they do that. Because it's not just that one thing that clicks, that works for them. When it comes to satisfying sexual connection, well, people probably have come across this part and said, hey, this is the real deal here. Maintain with satisfying sexual connection, one has to maintain a satisfying sexual relationship through open discussion about sexual needs and preferences, including what to do when one partner is in the mood and the other is not. Conversations around the meaning of sex and where this was learned can also increase understanding and connection. For those that have experienced sexual trauma, individual therapy may be helpful in combating barriers and improving your sexual connection. There are so many that look at that sexual aspect of their relationship, and like most things, most everything else, just think that it will just fall into place. Or if that first time that you shared a sexual experience was so mind-altering that this person has become your all-in-all and that has been the focal point, but then you never talk about it again, you just live in that moment over and over and over again, and that is what you base everything on. Well, yeah, it's great. That experience was great. But really and truly, it isn't all there is. And maybe, just maybe, when you have another experience where something new is introduced, without being able to have that kind of discussion, without being able to have that openness as it relates to your sexual connection, it may cause problems. Because now you're going to be thinking, if that trust aspect is missing, now you're thinking something else. And you're saying, wait, hold up. Where did you learn this? Who were you with? What were you doing? And without that trust, without that open communication, without that friendship, now you could run up into problems. Because there was an expectation that was, and it's funny how the expectation works, because with that being the ultimate thing in the relationship at the time that set the precedence for the relationship, it was a foundation that was laid. You would think that was where it ended, and you thought you knew this person, you knew everything about them, and here comes this new thing. There has to be something external. Well, you kind of forget the individual. Yeah, that person's an individual just like you. And so in their individual time, in their self time, they may have learned something and took the time to research it and bring it home as a surprise to the relationship. See how that works? We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more as it relates to relationships and expectations. What expectation do you have in your relationship? Is it realistic? Is it unrealistic? Well, we'll talk about it some more when we come back from the break. We'll be right back.
It's Christina representing for DJ Kevin. You see me, I say, I don't know the boss. You see me, I say, DJ Kevin's Chew and the night shift radio show. Yo, it at the thing, turn up the thing loud.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
MRE Entertainment, in association with VPAL Distribution, presents the brand new hit single.
I'm Robert French, and you're listening to my new song, Every Day of My Life.
Now available on all major digital platforms.
Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always and just loving you. Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Hey yo, this is Caraman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
Look at no, look at no, look at
searching and searching and searching and searching. She been through ups and down. She been round and round. I see her full time. For her sickle down. From she side the eye, she tell herself say me a the right boy. All my bills are covered, long as me give her some good loving. Real love, say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself. Say she want real love. Say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself. One love and me give her. Now she come and own it up till I see her fear. One this palm me start. She want me left me girlfriend and live with her. Say she just not go share me. Anything want me fi tell her she will care me. Logo you not hear me. True love find me. I must just design me. Real love. Say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself. Say she want real love. Say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself. She been through ups and down. She been round and round. I see her full time. For her settle down. From she side the eye, she tell herself say me a the right boy. All my bills are covered, long as me give her some good loving. Real love, say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself. Say she want real love. Say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself. Want me for herself. Want me for herself. I say she want me for herself. Want me for herself. She want me for herself. And she no want me love nobody else. No want me love nobody else. Real love, say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself. Say she want real love. Say she want feel love. Can't take the one night love. I say she want me for herself.
The sound of Jadan bringing us back from the break.
Want me for herself.
A track called Real Love.
Yeah man, jealous girl, you know. Want me for herself. But I know, like a she alone stay, so me want her for myself. Like
you see how that work? Jadan says it's not like she stays, so it's not just that she jealous and want him for herself, but that's how he is too. He wants her for himself, and you know, if that is what works for them, then that is what works for them, and it's their real relationship and them experiencing real love. As we continue with tonight's topic of relationship expectations, we are looking at some good expectations to have in relationships, some realistic ones, and we're deep diving a little bit in we mentioned 10 of them, and we're doing a little bit of a deep dive into some of them. Respect for each other's differences looks like withholding criticism and using curiosity to listen to and validate different values, different customs, different beliefs. Sharing compassion for each other's differences can remind each other that you're a part of a team and make it easier to view their differences as a strength and hold space for expression of these differences in the relationship. Then there's quality time. And it can look like going on a date together, doing housework together, doing other enjoyable activities just together. The main goal is to be present with each other during these experiences to promote connection and shared meaning. And being present may look like making eye contact, engaging in physical touch, and actively listening and responding to each other's bids. It's it's really and truly showing up and being present. Then there's kindness and generosity. Increase love in your relationship through demonstrating kindness and generosity when you each need support, or after completing an action that you appreciate, such as communicating effectively or making dinner. It may be especially helpful to incorporate one action of kindness each day to promote and culture a relationship, a friendship, and appreciation within the relationship. And these are realistic expectations. Comment here asking, can anyone love mischievous Kevin? Well, mischievous Kevin is the one that generates all the love. What do you mean? What is there not to love with mischievous Kevin? It's probably the best part. Now, there are some unrealistic expectations. Just like you have the realistic ones, you can't leave out the unrealistic ones. And these include no arguing. That is a sign of a good relationship. Always know why and what you are feeling. You know, the mind reading. Always being available when you are in distress. Things like no friends of the sex that they're attracted to. These are unrealistic expectations of your partner. Always spending time, all your free time together. You see where the problems lie in some of these things? Always in agreement with you. Always needing to provide solutions. Always forcing partner to change to avoid distress. Always having sex on a regular basis. Never changing appearance. All these fall under the unrealistic expectations category. And so I won't even deep dive in these because I'm pretty sure you can figure them out. But not only that, time doesn't really allow for us to deep dive into all of these because there are a couple more things that I want to look at. One of them being some things women expect from men. And funny enough, these things pretty much guarantee a broken heart. So ladies, do you have your notepads ready to take notes? According to yourtango.com, there are 5 things that some women expect from men that will lead to heartbreak. It's almost guaranteed. And this is as you, according to your tango, begin searching for a foolproof relationship. Now, if there's any such thing, you can let me know when you find it. You might begin by qualifying the kind of partner you would like to marry and what they have to offer. If you probably have the ultimate checklist for what you want in a man, well, please share it. There are some that don't have any checklist to go off, and me as a man, I'd like to know. It may include an Ivy League degree, college degree that is, with post-nominal letters, similar religious affiliation, similar upbringing, bank account, social status, All these things. So let's go into these 5 things. Women expect from guys, from men, that almost always will lead to a disappointment. The first is that college degree. Education has always been a priority for you. Maybe you were raised by a family of highly educated professionals whose Ivy League status defines their identity. You know, and you ask, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, I graduated from, and that is their lead-off statement. Buried, their identity buried in their accolades, which probably they are the only ones that care about it. But without a, according to your tango, without a post-nominal suffix, the random combination of letters people use to refer to you is nothing more than a name. With a college degree at the forefront of your relationship requirements, will it define your level of wisdom about relationships and or the amount of love you are capable of giving? Well, chances are no. And if education is the ultimate factor in sustaining your relationship, you'll want to make sure there is more to offer to the dynamic. Reminiscing about your college days and reciting textbook lingo day in, day out will lose its intrigue. What about the person? So while being a sapiosexual may be a huge turn on, you'll want to consider if those post-nominal letters are going to bring happiness, understanding, laughter, passion, and intimacy to your relationship status. There's no degree or certificate when it comes to true love. Matching religious beliefs is another one. So the first one was your college degree. Women looking for college degrees for the perfect relationship, you're going to be disappointed. More often than not. The matching religious beliefs. Okay. I can say the majority of individuals that I have been in relationships with have pretty much come from church. The church I was attending. So, I guess I could understand matching religious beliefs. During your child rearing years, according to your tango, your caregivers may have taught you to believe in and follow a certain religious affiliation. Being passed down generation after generation, you are enlightened with traditions and rituals that bonded you to your ideology. Cool. That's what you do. And going outside those beliefs was unheard of or perhaps even forbidden. There are some religions, some cultures that their religion is all that there is. Now, while having common beliefs is important to the infrastructure of a relationship, they alone will not create happiness or love between two individuals. Love is blind. It is blind to creed, race, gender, socioeconomic status, and lineage. Once we get that into our heads, then a lot of these expectations, requirements, well, they also start to fade away. But nevertheless, a more important factor to support a happy marriage, interfaith or some faith, is common interests. This outweighs any other factor for developing and sustaining a genuine bond. Without being able to enjoy each other's company through similar interests, the relationship will most likely fizzle to non-existent. You need to have some things in common. Some cultures go according to compatible marriages. Well, compatibility being what? What is the thing that makes them compatible? Another one that is going to be a disappointment, especially in this economic climate, is an impressive bank statement. Having a deep pocket full of change can definitely make life easier, yes. It presents more opportunities and allows you to experience things that you might not have gotten experience if otherwise. Money makes the world go round, but it cannot buy love or happiness. True relationships form from a warm-hearted unity where you and your partner promise to love each other, for richer, for poorer. So if you don't find this to be true, then are you really in love? You have to treasure your partner for who they are, with or without capital. And these are some things that women have on their list of expectations that will definitely lead them to disappointment. When you make lots of deposits, your communication becomes quite effortless. And this truly allows you to be yourself as your partner feels secure and safe in the relationship. And these are deposits into an emotional bank account. Now that is a demonstration of real wealth. When you can make regular deposits into an emotional bank account. Be there to support your partner and your partner's ability to support you. Ladies, we're looking at things that ladies expect of men that more often than not ends up disappointing them. A high status name. Social status may be a thing you desire to live a privileged lifestyle, but you will not find it to be all that it's necessarily cracked up to be. There's no security to protect your relationship, as it is something you have to be willing to put effort into, with or without the social status. Living a luxurious life brings valuable benefits of social approval. However, when it comes to love, you have to seek approval within yourself first. Being able to fully accept yourself, imperfections and all, you will naturally attract a partner of similar worth. Regardless of what name you carry around on your ID card, you have the freedom to be who you want to be by owning who you are. When choosing a partner for romantic love and commitment, you are more likely to make sacrifices of economic status for fulfillment and companionship. Not saying that you cannot have a fulfilling relationship with a higher status, but you are likely to fall in love for the right reasons when you focus on what matters. Now, if that luxurious lifestyle is what matters, then hey, that might be your right reason. If you're thinking of getting hitched and you think that this will give you the ultimate commitment of respect, honesty, trust, friendship, and love, well, that is not as likely as you think. A marriage license, which is the last on this list of things to disappoint women, as their expectations lie in men. A marriage license won't be a miracle remedy for a fickle relationship. You will want to develop a deeper connection between you and your partner prior to tying the knot. You know, some people think, oh, I'm just going to get married and that will solve everything. They'll be okay after we're married. No, that's not how it works. A relationship cannot survive the rocky waters unless you get the root of your issues to maintain a healthy, loving, and harmonious relationship. Being able to identify and work through your challenges will allow you to have growth for an amazing connection. There's no band-aid strong enough to make a relationship work if both partners are not invested prior to marriage. Marriage can be a beautiful life goal when love and friendship are at the heart of the union. Signifying your vows collectively while embracing each of your idiosyncrasies as a whole gives new purpose to the deep love you share. And how amazing that would be if you both get it right. Because there are some things that men look for in women also. There are things, those things that we just looked at are things that women tend to look for in men that would lead to some disappointment. Because more often than not, they don't get it. And so they're disappointed when these expectations are not met. But there are some things that, according to Project Soulmate, men expect of women. And if you're a man and you're struggling in your dating life and you can't seem to figure out why you can't find the one, there are probably some things that you're looking for. Some things like confidence. Men want to know that a woman has faith in herself and in them because it shows them that you are confident in a relationship and its future. So men look for confidence. For a guy, confidence is attractive and sexy because it shows that you know what you want, not only for yourself, but from others. Guys, according to Project Soulmate, look for independence. The second thing that most men say that they look for in a woman is the ability to be independent. They love a woman that can hold her own. They want to know that, yes, you want him, but you don't necessarily need to rely on him. Independence is key to any relationship. The funny thing is, there are lots of men that want to be depended on. Here's the joke. It's not just men. So there are some individuals that feel that they should be the center of their partner's lives. It's not just men. But one of the things that men look for in women is that independence, to know that they can handle, they can take care of. And it's not to say that they're just going to drop everything on them. It's just to know that they have that strength, that someone to lean on if push comes to shove. According to Project Soulmate, men want a challenge. Now, I guess this goes back to anything that is worth fighting for is worth having. It is endearing to a man when he has to work to try to figure out a woman. Guys love to learn more about a woman as the relationship progresses. So don't air out all your dirty laundry on the first couple of dates. Make him wait for it. He wants to know that there's more to you than he already knows. And there probably is. So tell him at the right time, not just any time. So, ladies, give the man a little bit of a challenge and leave him wanting more, both intellectually and physically. What time, though, is the right time? And, they say timing is key. This is one of those times where you have to ask, what time is the right time? Because you could run into all kind of problems if you give too much too soon. But if you wait too long, that could also be a problem. Then there's complexity. Men look for a little bit of complexity in a woman. Now, there are very few women, as far as I know, that walk this earth that don't naturally come with complexity. So I am thinking that this is a given. However, many men say they are looking for a simple woman. A woman with complexity has many layers to peel. And like anything in life, it's important to be versatile and good at different things. And men like to know that their woman is a bunch of women all rolled into one. Well, some men just like to have a bunch of women. You know, it is what it is. He doesn't want you to only be smart or only be hardworking. He wants you to be smart, hardworking, cute, caring, a great cook, a baker, a homemaker, a dressmaker. All these things all rolled into one. But when you stop and think about it, most of the women I grew up with are all those things. Maybe it's a cultural thing. Because a lot of the women that I know today who hail from my original culture are that way. So, is it different with women from different cultures? Yes, it would be. Because not everyone has the same experience. And so, given that this was probably taken from a cross-section of society that, or a section of society that only knows one type of lifestyle. So another type of lifestyle is such a novel idea to them. Like a woman having all these facets about them, these multiple layers that brings complexity. Funny thing, the simple woman is the one that has all these parts to them. And so I guess the complexity lies within their simplicity. I say that about myself because I'm a simple guy. But more complex than me? I don't know. Ask some people that know me. Do you think I'm complex? Do you think, those of you that are listening right now, do you think I'm complexed? Give me your honest feedback. Whether in a little message, shooting me a little message by text 773-789-STEW or publicly in the Stew Pot. You know, let me know. Lastly, a man looks for a good attitude in a woman. Every guy loves a woman who has a positive outlook on life. Men want a woman who is fun, positive, and who enjoys doing things. No one wants to be with someone who is always creating drama, in a bad mood, or negative about things, because quite frankly, those are no fun. And obviously, everyone has bad times and times where they simply need to be grumpy. But being grumpy and being a grump are two different things. Someone once said a positive attitude changes everything. And there's nothing more true. If you go into something thinking you are going to succeed and or have a positive attitude about it, there's almost a 99.99% chance you'll have the outcome. The outcome will be good, will even be great. Always remember though, if you want your relationship to succeed, have a positive attitude, because at the end of the day, we all just want to be happy. And at minimum, be happy. But we all want to be happy together. And if you go in having a positive attitude about being at that place, what do you think will happen? If there's a 99% chance that having a positive attitude will have a positive outcome, what do you think will happen if you go into this relationship expecting it and anticipating, not expecting, but anticipating great things, expecting that to be good, expecting that it will work out when you hit bumpy roads? If that is your anticipation and you are willing to make that happen, not just to sit back and let it happen organically, you're willing to put in the work to make that happen, what do you think will happen? How do you think it will end up?
Girl, when we make love, it feels
jumping into musical therapy.
Heaven.
Kicking it off with the sound of Neri.
Girl, when we make love,
It's called The Love Song.
It feels like we're in heaven. When the rain is falling on the outside and I have you beside me, good gosh, yeah. Feels so good when you put your wings around me, 'cause you're an angel in disguise, yes. My main addiction is you, the only prescription is you, yeah. Prescribe sweet loving for me every day, 'cause when we make love, it feels like we're in heaven, yes. When we make sweet love, oh yeah, it feels like we're in heaven. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Said I know that heaven must be missing an angel, 'cause you are right here with me, here with me. Said I know that heaven must be missing an angel, 'cause you are right here with me. Oh, 99. Empress, I love it when you squeeze me. I put your arms around me and tell me that you love me and you care for me. And with me you want to build a family. And this thing I know if nor maybe, 'cause with me you want to build a family. Put it down. Empress divine, I'm glad that you are mine. You belong to no one else but me, yeah. And it feels so good, so good. You take the troubles away, you take my pain away. With you I feel like I can move mountains, 'cause when we make love, it feels like we're in heaven, yes. When we make sweet love, oh yeah, it feels like we're in heaven. When we make sweet love, oh yeah, it feels like we're in heaven. Yes, it feels like we're in heaven.
This is the sound of Miss Joanna Marie, or should I say Mrs. Robinson, in Espanol, from the album Simply Irresistible. This is Irresistible.
It's more than just a feeling. It's the most beautiful time of the year. Lights in the streets spreading so much cheer. I should be playing it.
You just heard from Mrs. Robinson. Now it's Mr. Robinson.
I don't want to miss out on the holidays, but I can't.
The son of Ed Robinson.
I should be playing in the winter.
A track called Mistletoe.
Under the mistletoe.
And this year, he gets to celebrate Christmas with his shorty, as they recently tied the knot. Jonah Marie and Ed Robinson.
Chestnuts roasting like a hot July. I should be chilling with my folks.
Today makes what?
But I'll be on the
a month and 3 days. But who's counting?
Coming tonight. Reindeer flying through the sky so high. I should be making my list, I know. But I'ma be under the mistletoe. Shorty with you, shorty with you, shorty with you, shorty with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. Shorty with you, shorty with you, shorty with you, baby with you. Under the mistletoe, oh yeah. The wise men follow the star. Where I follow my heart, and it led me to a miracle and love. Don't you buy me a thing, no, 'cause I am feeling one thing. Your lips on my lips, that's a merry, merry Christmas. Show me with you, yeah, me with you, yeah, with you, yeah, with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah. I don't wanna miss out on the holidays, but I can't stop staring at your face. I should be playing in the winter snow, but I'ma be under the mistletoe. Share me with you, yeah. Share me with you, yeah. Share with you, yeah. Share with you, yeah. Under the mistletoe, yeah, baby. Share me with you, baby. Share me with you, yeah. Oh yeah. Under the mistletoe, kissing you, baby, yeah. Oh baby, yeah. Under the mistletoe with you, yeah, baby. Kissing you, baby, kissing you, shorty, yeah. Under the mistletoe,
Glory, glory to the King.
Only a few days to go.
Till I meet you under the mistletoe. This is gonna be a very merry Christmas.
This is the sound of Twiggy working out with Sadiki.
It's been good and so bad.
Yeah man, the Twiggerific one herself.
Love is in the air. Wishing you and yours a very merry Christmas. So let's all gather round, enjoy each other's company. No matter who you may be, everybody is family. So sing this song, show love to everyone this Christmas. Jingle bells, you know them well. It's time to start giving. Someone crying today is gonna have a merry Christmas. So let's all gather round, enjoy each other's company. And even if you only bring your hungry belly, everybody is family. Dance this song, show love to everyone this Christmas. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, what fun
here wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas.
Hang all the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas.
This is the sound of G-Mac.
We trim the tree,
His rendition of This Christmas.
I'll be together this Christmas. Fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you. This Christmas, and as I look around, your eyes outshines the town they do. This Christmas, fireside is blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Shake a hand now. Shake a hand now.
The sound of G-Mac in the background with his rendition of This Christmas, bringing us to a close for this night, right here on Real Talk on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. And you know, we're asking the question, what is your expectation of your relationship? Do you have one? And does your partner or the people in your relationships know what your expectation or your expectations are? Do you have the tools that you are required to use to share your expectations? Are your expectations realistic? Now, these are some of the questions that we should be asking, but somehow we often overlook. And as we go in through this weekend, let's see if we can navigate these in our minds and with our partners. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to the segment sponsors and to the affiliates. Catch you all on Saturday, all things being well, at 8 p.m. Eastern on Reggae Global Radio for the Saturday Stew. Do remember to look up for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. Those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Steele, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world from right here in South Florida. I bid you all a good night. Take care until we link up again, yeah? Alright. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.